Kicking to Junior Bonner and James Platt standing back at the 10-yard line. Right foot to football. It is a line drive style kick that's going to come to one of the up people for the Cedar High School team.
That's Cole Faddis, Kerry, and he got ripped right at the, 35.
The players up at about the 15-yard line hauled that one in. Returned at 16 yards. The Redmen in business on offense, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Kerry, one thing that's been very good for the Redmen this season so far has been their kick return. Obviously, Coach Lewis and the Falcons saw that. Says we're not going to let Junior or James have a chance.
So we'll get our first look at the Redmen offense. Jeff Oliverson, number 19, the senior signal caller, up under center as he has Mike Gower in the backfield behind him. He gives it to Gower off the left side. Gower breaks into the secondary, sidesteps the tackler, sidesteps the second tackler, gets the ball across the 50-yard line all the way into Canyon View territory, down to the 42-yard line. So Gower immediately electrifies the home crowd as he gallops it for 27 yards and a first down for the Redmen.
Big hole off that side, and I don't know, Kobe, if you saw it, but you had a pretty good angle, I think, in that big line play.
That was a great job by the Cedar High line as Gower just made a couple of nice moves to get through, and hey, that hit right at the kickoff. You should have seen it from down here. That was a wicked hit.
Just underway, second play of the game. The Redmen rip off 27 yards on their first offensive play, and they make their first penetration into Canyon View territory as Jeff O up under center. Gower the back behind him as they send triple wide receivers to the right. 5-step drop, looking across the middle, now going deep downfield as he has James Platt just off the outstretched fingertips of number 9, James Platt, down and 10 from the 42, Canyon View territory. Fake the dive on the right side, pitch it out to Bonner as he was the tailback coming on that right side. He'll take it inside the 40-yard line down to the 38, so Bonner on his first carry of the night nets 4 yards.
Much of a gain.
Ball spotted actually at the 39-yard line, so a 3-yard gain for Bonner on his first carry. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Redmen offense.
Watch Junior right here. They're having a problem guarding him, I think.
5-step drop. Oliverson going to go down under a heavy rush as the Falcons come with the blitz, and they'll record their first quarterback sack as Oliver going for it on 4th down anytime.
Yeah.
Oliverson, the 5-step drop, looking downfield. He's got Bonner. Bonner with the high leaping catch comes down at the 20-yard line as he had to turn around to get the football, but the big gainer of 26 yards gives the Redmen a new set of downs as they pick up their second first down on that 26-yard reception by Bonner. He was
almost overshot him. I think Junior's going to be open the way they're playing defense here again, Kerry.
Twin wideouts to both sides, single setback. He's going for the end zone. He does overthrow Bonner this time as he was looking for him once again. Bonner, the inside receiver on the left side, was open down near the goal line, but he needed to be about 7-2 to catch up with that one as it was.
And if they want to stop that.
Out of a double wing formation, they're going to give it off on a reverse to Bonner, who was the left wing. He cuts inside the containment, trying to find some running room as the Canyon View defensive left.
Okay, that's the man on the outside.
Twin wide receivers to the right of the I formation this time on 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. They're going to give it to the fullback. That's Gower. He breaks the tackle, breaks the second tackle, takes the ball down into the end zone before being brought down. So the first 6-pointer of the board is on for the Redmen as they score with 8:35 left to go here in the opening period and take the early 6-0 lead.
Kerry, the one thing that was impressive about that, you and I, when we were roaming together, we always wondered, why do you pass when you get down inside the 10? That time the Redmen say bread and butter, give it to Mike. Kerry, he's got 47 yards on 3 carries.
On to attempt the extra point for the Redmen.
Andrew Hansen, number 26.
He looks bigger in a football uniform than he does in basketball.
I think everybody does. He's been pretty dang consistent on those extra points.
Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:35 left to go in the opening period, the Redmen claim first blood as they have a 7-0 lead over the Canyon View. Foul back inside the 10-yard line for the Falcons. Going to try the onside kick, almost recovered by the Redmen. The Redmen did finally get it.
I think that Canyon View guy rolled right over the ball, and Jesse Griffin comes up with it.
So the Redmen get the football right back on the onside kick as they kicked it to the sideline. The first Redmen player to go for the ball rolled right over the top of it. Then the second player from Canyon View rolled over the top of it, and Jesse Griffin comes up with it for the Redmen. So Cedar in business with the football in Canyon View territory once again, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And that's the first onside kick that I think the Redmen have executed successfully. Big time here as they all lead 7-0 in possession second time.
Redmen scoring drive, 9 plays. A 9-yard run by Mike Gower took 3:25 off of the clock as they scored the first touchdown. They're going to give it to Gower again. He rambles off the right side this time and rumbles into the secondary as he'll pick up big yardage, taking the ball down near the 30-yard line. So Gower, the workhorse is biting off big chunks of real estate here early in this football game as he has established himself as a power runner against this Canyon View defense.
63 yards on 4 carries. They've been just off the right tackle on that particular time. That's running behind Bill Nelson and John McKibben.
16-yard gain on the play. It's the 4th first down of the football game for the Redmen as they have their second possession of the game. The Canyon View offense has yet to get on the football field. Going to give it off on a reverse coming from the wing on the right side.
That's the Griffin. Jesse earned it, got a...
Twin wide receivers both ways this time for Oliverson.
If they're going to throw, I was going to say watch for James.
5-step drop. They're going to throw it to Flat, and he's into the end zone as he splits the seam on the zone defense in the secondary, and he has his first catch of the football game. It's good for a touchdown as the Redmen strike once again, taking just 35 seconds off the clock to put their second score on the board.
They run a deep post pattern by James Platt on the outside, and a ball thrown on the money, and the Redmen right now clicking offensively.
Reception by James Platt. The snap is down. The kick is up for Hansen. And it is good, so he adds his second PAT of the football game, and the Redmen with 8 minutes left to go in the first period have a 14-0 lead. We'll be back with their kickoff in 60 seconds. You're listening to the Redmen versus the Falcons on Talk Radio 590 KSUB. And a touchdown.
And a touchdown. Little squib again.
Going to roll down inside the 20-yard line. Nobody seems to be able to pick the football up.
You know, Hammond fell down. I think the officials bought it, and then number 25 for the Falcons come up with it, but they blow the whistle dead.
With the left hand, he'll send wide receiver Nate James out to the right side, stack his backs in the I formation. He's got Carpenter out to the left. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Gives it off to Jones, the fullback, off the left side, and the defensive left, or off the right side, excuse me, the defensive left for the Cedar Redmen having nothing of that, as there is no gain whatsoever on the first offensive play for the Falcons.
Maybe he can hear us, maybe he can't.
He's out getting the coke that he has to go.
I think he's looking, but we'll come back to him.
High formation once again for the Falcons. That's what you'll see the entire game for the Canyon View team. On the option, they'll pitch it back to Atwood. He tries to get the corner turn, does break a tackle, gets the corner turn, gets to the 40-yard line, and then it's hit hard.
Actually, he delivered the hit.
From the 42-yard line, Canyon View territory, Falcons in possession of the football. 1st and 10, again, the I formation, wide receivers both sides for this Canyon View football team. Going to fake the dive on the left side. Barnes takes it himself. Is hit in the secondary and then spun around and taken to the ground after he gets the ball into Redmen territory at the 46-yard line. And, man, if you don't believe there's popping going on down there, you're not looking at this football game. You can hear this one. So the Falcons with 2 successive first downs as they found success on the ground with a 21-yard gain and a 13-yard gain. Barnes with his first carry in the game. He's got wide receivers again, both sides. Going to give it off. Both of them got hit and tackled immediately, and there will be a loss of a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Good play by Jeff Oliverson coming down. He say, hey, you're going to play fake that. We'll do what everybody does to us. Smash the fullback, drive him into the quarterback. Loss of 1.
Clock on the move, 6:18 left to go. First period of play. Redmen out early, 14-0 in this one. As they score on their first drive of 69 yards, then recover an onside kick and take just 3 plays to put it on the board again from 46 yards out. Again, wide receivers both ways for Barnes. Again, he's going with the fullback dive. He'll fake it on the left side and take it himself as he'll take the ball down inside the 45-yard line down to the 41. So Barnes with his second carry will pick up 6 yards on that carry and bring up a 3rd down situation for the Falcons. They're in need of 5 yards to move the chains forward.
That's the same type of play the Redmen have run for a number of years. Carry fake to the fullback, then 1 step further out. Generally, Steve's just spinning right back, right up the center as they're going for the fullback and finding good running room.
So big 3rd down call for Steve Barnes, the field general out there for the Falcons, working out of the I formation. He's got Jones as the up back, Atwood as the deep back. Play action. He's going to get the ball to Jesse Tate, the big tight end on a slant end pattern, makes the catch inside the 30-yard line, takes it down to the 26-yard line where he is brought down by Platt.
That's a nice little play. Missed that little tight end hot pass. That's what it is. Belly fake inside. Step up. The left-hander hits him. First down, number 3. Falcons in business, 1st and 10.
15-yard gain on the play. The first completion of the game for Barnes on his first pass attempt puts the ball at the 26-yard. Wide receivers both ways. Barnes on the option. Penalty flag flies. He pitches the ball back to Atwood. Atwood steps inside 1 tackler, then is brought down in the secondary.
Bert Blackner on the tackle, but there's another yellow hanky on the other side of the field. We'll sort it out.
The game against the Falcons. Redmen penalized once for 5 yards, also that coming on a kickoff. It'll be triple wide receivers to the left this time. A formation we haven't seen a lot of at Canyon View High School. They'll have the single setback. Going to go to one of the inside receivers. That's Malafau. He'll take the ball and try and find some blocking out in front of him. He'll have limited success as he will pick up about 4 of the 5 yards lost on the penalty as they'll bring the ball back down to the 27-yard line on the completion, and it will bring up 2nd down and 11 from that point.
Just throw that little wide receiver screen pass and good pursuit from the middle backers of the Redmen. Nail him for after the 4-yard pickup.
So a 2nd down call coming up for this Falcon football team. They'll send James wide to the left. As Barnes up under center out of the I formation on a play action, has the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. He was looking for Nate James, who was coming from his wide receiver position on the left and running a post pattern. But the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. The incompletion stops the clock with 3:50 left to go in the opening period and sets up 3rd down and 11.
I hate to say, Nate was wide open, however. Cameron Romney, I believe, got a hand up, knocked it down. It'll bring up 3rd down. We'll try to find some batteries for Cope, see what he can do. Nothing there?
There's a lot of nothing there up here.
So 3rd down 11.
From the 27-yard line in Redmen territory, big 3rd down call once again for the Canyon View team. They went to the air last time. They're going to the air again. They've got Nate James down there. James going high in the air, battling Bonner. A penalty flag flies in. We'll see what the call.
In basketball, we just saw it here in football as the two get mixed up. Junior gets called for the defensive pass interference.
3:42 remains opening period of play. Redmen 14, Falcons nothing. Canyon View with it, 1st and 10 to the 13-yard line in Redmen territory. Again, out of the I formation. Double tight end set this time for the Redmen. Going to give it off to a new back into the game, and I'm not sure.
I think the ball came out. I think Steve was the one who was running.
That kept the football.
So he came up with it. It is 2nd down after about 3 yards. And Kerry, that's just following that center up the middle. And right now the linebacking core for the Redmen are nailing the fullback, which you need to do. Nobody's paying attention to the quarterback.
10th play of the drive for the Falcons as they have the ball inside the 10-yard line down at the 9. A 3-yard gain for Barnes on that one as he will send wide receivers both ways once again. Clock winds down to 3 minutes left to go in the 2nd period. Redmen holding the 14-0 edge. Canyon View their first possession of the football game. Out of the I formation, they're going to go to James, throwing behind Nate James as he came with a little slant pattern from the wide receiver left position. The ball thrown well behind him and over his head as well. So the incompletion will bring up a 3rd down call once again for the Canyon View team as the clock is stopped with 2:55 left to go here in the opening period.
Looking for James just on a quick slant from that wide receiver spot. They like the height advantage they have on the outside, obviously, continuing to go with that. Kobe, should we try you one more time?
We obviously still have technical difficulties.
All right.
So again, Barnes will send wide receivers both ways. His big 3rd down call on this particular drive, trying to keep it alive for the Falcons. 3-step
good play.
Across the middle, but the ball jarred loose from the tight end as James Platt with the big hit on Jesse Tate. Tate had it momentarily, but Platt doing just exactly what a defensive back should do, and that is jarring the ball loose. Actually, I think Platt is the linebacker covering the tight end.
Well, actually, he's the safety. He's been playing cornerback, but with Junior playing Nate, they decided to move James to the safety spot, and Cedar wants a timeout. It comes with 2:52 to go. 14-0 Redmen. We'll be back in a minute on Talk Radio 590.
All four of the Falcons at the 9-yard line. They're going to the air. They get it out to Tate. The tight end takes the ball on into the end zone. So a well-conceived play as they snuck the tight end out into the right flat. And Tate comes up with the catch on the 4th down call and rambles in from 9 yards out for the Falcons score as they have cut the lead to 8 at 14-6.
A little kind of a pick play. The man goes in motion. I think that's Ammon Malafau. Picks off the linebacker. Jesse gets the ball out in the flat. Too big, too strong. Goes in from 9. And Colby, I hate to tell you this, but we had you turned off over here, so you're up and running now. Are you there?
Maybe he gave up on it.
I don't know where he is. He should be good to go now.
Falcon kicking game has struggled, so they will go for a 2-point conversion. And they're going to stop play before it gets underway. As apparently Canyon View didn't have the personnel they wanted, they're going to take a timeout. It comes with 2:46 left to go in the opening period. 14-6 our score. Redmen lead it. You're listening to Canyon View versus Cedar High School in football on Talk Radio 590 KSUB.
When a business has been around for nearly 50 years, through southern Utah's economic ups and downs with competition near and far and a tasteful, discriminating clientele, you know they're doing something, no, lots of things right. Well, for 47 years, Cedar City's Northeast Furniture has been providing quality home furnishings for every room in the house, with in-store financing, design help, and free delivery. Furniture, bedding, appliances, electronics, great hometown service, the quality you want at prices you'll like. Northeast Furniture, 920 North Main.
Two-point conversion headed for the corner of the end zone with Nate James. He makes the catch, but I believe he's going to be called for defensive or offensive pass interference as he was pushing off against Junior Bonner, and the official on the far side said we've seen enough of that contact, and I think that one's coming back.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen, but just throw it up, jump ball, 6'8", out, get 6'1", anytime.
Oh, actually, they called it on Bonner on the far side, so the two-point conversion will stand. So the Falcons close to within 6 on the two-point conversion to James. 14-8 our score, 2:42 remaining here in the opening period. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the Falcon kickoff. Bryce Jones tees it up the 40-yard line following the opening possession for the Falcons as they have scored on their opening possession as well. He'll scoot it along the ground where it's picked up by Platt on the near sideline. Platt cuts back across the middle against the grain, finds some running room. The only problem is he's going east instead of north.
That's a Junior Bonner move, and Junior's got enough quickness. James makes a good play, does pick it up inside the 33-yard line where the Redmen will start 1st and 10. And Kobe, please come in. Let me see if you're there now.
And the two-point conversion to Nate James was good. The score took 5:18 off the clock. The Redmen with their third possession here in the opening period. They've scored on the previous two possessions as they lead it 14-8. With 2:35 remaining, a long first period of play as we've had a lot of offense and not as much defense.
Not as much as both teams been able to move the football. The difference is this is the Redmen's third offensive possession. Chepo with the ball around the outside. Left, good block by Hanson, and Oliverson takes on Barnes at the 40. Is that a penalty or just a spot? I think it's just a spot.
Well, I'm not sure. It's a yellow flag that's down there, so I'm not sure just exactly what took place, but possibly it is. He's picked the flag up. So a nice run that time by Jeff Oliverson. That is his first carry of the football, his second carry of the football game, excuse me, as he takes the ball down into Canyon View territory once again. They'll spot him down at the 42-yard line. 25
on the play, I believe. Carry, maybe 26. And so Jeff O gets in the positive side with 19 yards rushing.
So the offenses continue to flow on both sides. Right now, the Redmen with the best of it, 14-8, and they also have it in Canyon View territory the third time in this opening period as they have it 1st and 10 of the 42. Oliverson, 5-step drop, looks out to the right. Got a man down there as he was looking for Bonner. Bonner had split the two defenders, but he overthrows Bonner down inside the 10-yard line. So the incompletion stops the clock with triple twos across the time frame and brings it back out to the 42-yard line where the Redmen face 2nd down and 10.
Right now, the way the Falcons are defending that 3 wide receivers is they're letting the middle guy, which in that case is Junior, just go free, and they're trying to pick it up with the safety deep. Almost think you need kind of a little stop pattern, Kerry, about a 10-yard stop, and I think it'll be all cleared out, and we'll see it from there.
Redmen come right back with it once again. 3-step drop this time. They'll throw it out into the right flat. The catch is made out there by Jesse Griffin. He's going to have a short gain as he has it inside the 40-yard line. Had to go high in the air for the catch. Kind of lost his balance coming down. Put his hand down to retain the balance, but that gave the defense time to react. And there is a penalty flag down on the far side. The gain would be about a yard on the completion. But we'll have to sort out the yellow hanky on the far side.
All that was Cedar's version of wide receiver screen pass. Kick it off to Andrew Hansen and try to clear it out, and I think there might have been a hold on the block going downfield.
So we'll have to see just exactly what it is. We have had 3 penalty flags previously. 2 of those have gone against the Redmen. This one also going against the Redmen as they will be called for a holding call. As the officials sort things out down on the field and talk it over with the defensive captain from Canyon View, number 9, Nate James. we may never get through this first period.
You know, this is the way Cedar High's games have been, though, this year, Kerry. A lot of points scored, a lot of points given up. And so it's been a long game. It is a holding penalty. Canyon View says, hey, we'll give you the 1-yard gain. They'll decline it. So it brings up, what, 3rd down and 9.
Well, I think the reason they did is they take that as a spot foul, and it was almost 10 yards upfield where that was thrown. So that would give them 1st and 10, or 2nd and 10, or they can give them 3rd and 9. And the defense opted not to take the penalty and face a 3rd down situation instead, knowing fully well that Todd Peacock's in 4th down territory anywhere on the field.
Yeah, Jeff O will take an option left side, pick up about 8 yards. It looks like he'll be about a yard short, 4th down.
Faked at that time on the dive on the left side to Gower, and then took it himself around the left end and picks up 8 yards. So he'll have a 4th down and 1 call. Second 4th down situation of the game for Jeff O. They converted on their first one and took it on into the end zone on their very first possession of the football game.
Well, big play coming up here. You don't want to say big play, but it is. I think both offensives right now, for the defense, you got to play tough. Watch for Mike Gower.
3rd and 1, 32-yard line, Canyon View territory out of the double wing off to Gower on the left side. He has 1 yard, plus a whole lot more as he breaks the tackle into the secondary as he'll take the ball all the way down inside the 10-yard line before finally being brought down. And right now, Mike Gower living on this Canyon View defense as he is just running at will, this time picking up 22 yards on the carry and a Cedar High School 1st down.
Right now, rapidly approaching 70, well, I might be off. I've run out of fingers and toes, but he's had a ball game here, and we're all in the first quarter of play. 1:23 to play, 1st and 10, Redmen at the 10.
It's also kind of dark up here. And tough to
well,
see
we don't pay the power here.
Actually, 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. Oliverson on the option play, going to keep it himself. He'll turn it up on the left side as he'll take the ball down near the 6-yard line. So Jeff O with a gain of 4 on his 3rd carry here in the football game as he inches the Redmen ever closer with that 4-yard gain.
So it'll bring up the 2nd down. And I don't know if I want to send it to Kobe. I can see he's right over there on the by the line of scrimmage.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Ooh, Walmart's a long run for an old guy like myself. Come back and the score's 14-8. Looks like Cedar's going.
I got shoes older than you, Kobe. Out of the double wing, they're going to give it to Gower on the right side. This time the defensive left for Canyon View. They're in a hurry, leading the way Nate James to bring down Gower for no gain on the play. So it will bring up 3rd down. Actually, they show it as 3rd and goal. They had it over there where they could pick up a 1st down just inside the 1-yard line, and somebody decided to change their mind, I guess.
We're about out of time. I don't think the Redmen will get a play off. First quarter is just 10 seconds away in the book. It's 14-8 Redmen, and that's down to 4. So let's step aside a little bit, Kerry. Take a minute break to hear from some high school sponsors. 14-8, Redmen on top over the Falcons here.
On the board, Canyon View answered with one of their own. Each team scored on every possession of the first period of play, and the Redmen lead at 14-8 right now. And knocking on the door once again as they have a 3rd down and goal at the 6-yard line in Canyon View territory.
Well, Kerry, to show you how good the Redmen rushing attack, especially Mike Gower, 129 yards rushing that first quarter.
Gower off the left side, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, cuts back inside, powers his way down near the goal line. He's going to be stopped just short, down at about the 1-yard line, and he just drove his shoulder into 2 linebackers on that side and picked up an additional 2 yards after being hit for the 2nd time.
Kobe, you're right down there. How was that play?
That was a great job by the interior line of Canyon View to stop him from getting in the end zone. They've had good short yardage situations. Has Canyon View in the past. Let's see what they can do against a strong running game with Cedar High.
Well, I'll tell you what, if a big heavy wind came up out of the north, that ball would be in the end zone where it's spotted right down there now, because the nose of it can't be too far out after Gower picked up 5 yards on that one. It is a 4th down and goal situation for the Redmen, so big defensive stand needed by the Falcons, and Jeff Oliverson is going to call a timeout. And it comes with 11:13 left to go in the second period as the Redmen don't want to miscue here. So we'll be back in 60 with Cedar leading at 14-8. This is Cedar High School versus Canyon View in high school football on Talk Radio 590 KSUB. Tried to stretch their lead even farther. Oliverson going to take it. He is denied the first time, but he gets in the second time with second effort. He tried to follow his center. Canyon View stacked it up, so he took it off the left side of the center and found an opening to get the ball into the end zone. And Jeff Oliver said with his first touchdown of the football game, as he puts the 6-pointer on the board with 11:10 left to go here in the second period.
And Kerry, I've got to give credit where credit's due. I've got a Cedar High fan down there. This young man's son made the block. Keith, your dad's proud of you. That was following Keith Gilbert off the left side. Second effort got it. Kobe, I'm sure you're right there. You'll agree with that.
That was a good job by Jeff Oliverson, just showing his power and going into the end zone.
Redmond going to go with a 2-point conversion to stretch it back out to a 14-point lead as they lead 20-8. Oliverson will take it himself off the left side. This time he's not going to get into the end zone as the Canyon View defense stacked him up. Looked like he might go with a play-action pass and decided to tuck it under himself and take it off the left side. He's denied on the 2-point conversion. So with 11:10 left to go in the second period of play, the Redmen put the 6-pointer on the board, stretch the lead out to a 12-point advantage, and we'll be back with their kickoff to the Falcons in 60 seconds. You're listening to high school football on Talk Radio.
And chicken fingers, cheese sticks, and yummy shakes.
Groovy. It's Brad's over at 546 North Main, right?
Yeah, baby, Brad's Food Hut in Cedar City.
Hanson on the kickoff will kick it out of bounds right in front of the Cedar High School bench. That will bring the ball out to the 35-yard line as the starting point for the Canyon View Falcons. As we are early in the second period of play, the Falcons with just their second possession of the football game following the third Redmond score of the football game. The Redmond scoring drive, 8 plays, 67 yards. It was a 1-yard run by Jeff Oliverson that got the ball into the end zone with 11:10 left to go. The scoring drive taking 6:08 off the clock. The PAT was no good as the Redmen went for a 2-point conversion, and they clinged to a 20-8 lead. And now the Falcons on the field with their offensive troops. As Steve Barnes, the 5'9" senior quarterback, brings them up to the line of scrimmage. We're waiting for a player from the Redmen side.
I think somebody forgot they were in there. Jeff Oliverson will come off, whether he's got an injury or not. He's been hurt, but he's been playing that defensive end, so he's out. Big Bill Nelson's in.
From the 35-yard line, Barnes directs the offensive fortunes for this Canyon View team. Going to give it on the right side to Atwood. Atwood breaks a couple of tackles and loses the football. It squirts forward. It's still loose on the field, and I'm not sure who's on top of it. Bryce Jones was there fighting for it for the
James
Falcons.
says Redmen ball. We'll see what the guys in the stripes do. Nope, second down.
Apparently it was Bryce Jones that came up with it. After Atwood had gained about 3 yards on the play, he fumbled it forward for another 4 yards. So we'll put it in the books as a 7-yard gain as Bryce Jones got back on top of it up across the 40-yard line at the 42. And the Falcons have it second down and 3 at that point.
Kind of looked like a little game of slippery tag there. Nobody could come up with that ball. 7 yards, second and 3.
Well, it's a pigskin. It might be a grease pigskin. Out of the I formation on second down. To Jones on the right side, and Jones is hammered down just as he got the handoff. He'll be brought down for a loss of a yard back to the 41-yard line. Good defensive stand off that defensive for the Red ball game as well. Canyon View with it on a big third down call, needing 5 yards for the first down. They're going to pitch it out on the option. They get it away from Jones.
And Jesse Griffin comes up with the pitch.
On one hop.
Yeah.
Almost had clear sailing down inside, so the first turnover of the game will go to the Redmen as they pick off an errant pitch from the Falcons, and they are in business with the football 1st and 10 out of the 41-yard line.
Too much line penetration that time. The Redmen did a good job in coming upfield, making the pitch early, and I don't know if it was my poor eyesight or not, Kerry. It almost looked like it was pitched to the up guy rather than the tailback.
Well, that was actually the fullback Bryce Jones, and that's where the pitch was in the vicinity of. So unless they have put a new play in the playbook, I think the pitch went to the wrong white jersey, but nonetheless it ended up.
I guess it's not a turnover.
I know what they're going to call that. I'll bet they call it an incomplete forward pass.
That's got to
so
be.
Redmen will not pick up the football on the turnover. So apparently the ball went forward that time, and we'll call it an incomplete pass and bring up our first punt of the football game. As the Falcons dodge a bit of a bullet there, Bryce Jones will take it, gets away the line drive style kick that hits at about the 27-yard line, taken by Bonner back at the 20 on one hop, gets to the outside, a penalty flag flies in where he gets the corner turn.
Watch this go all the way.
And he's gone.
Going to come back, though, illegal block. Great play. That's what Junior gives them.
I was going to say they might catch him on the angle, and Jesse Tate and Steve Barnes both in pursuit, but Bonner will take it on into the end zone, but it is going to come back as a penalty flag back at the 26-yard line. in Cedar territory is going to negate a great return by Junior Bonner.
Oh, electrifying. Tim and I, Kerry, have watched that season after, well, I can't say season, game after game. He has run a couple back that's been called back from penalties. Cliff early got him around the corner. I don't know if it would have made any difference, but it does bring it out, and the Redmen will start 1st and 10 inside their 20.
The punt will go in the books as a 39-yard punt. It was taken by Bonner at the 20-yard line. The penalty flag flew in at the 26-yard line. So a 6-yard return, and the walk-off will go from that point. As the Redmen are penalized here for the 3rd time in the first half of play. And this one wiping out a great run back of a punt by Junior Bonner.
Kobe, that's the first time you've seen Junior. What do you think of him?
Boy, you know what? I thought Nate James had him right there, but the speed of Bonner is just amazing down here on the field. He just absolutely outran Nate James, and he caught him around the corner. Unfortunately, that clip is going to get called back, and he's one of the most upset players on the field right now.
Oh, yeah, he really is. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve.
That will move the ball back down to the 13-yard line, so it will go as a 15-yard penalty. 33 yards in penalties against the Redmen, but more importantly, wiping out a touchdown.
Yeah. That's been one problem the Redmen have had, has been the penalties, and, they haven't turned the ball over yet, thank goodness, up to this point. We'll see how they can do. Canyon View would love a turnover deep.
3-step drop pass goes out into the left side to one of those 3 wide receivers that was out there. Nice job of breaking some tackles and some nifty moves, keeping his feet out across the 40, up to the 45-yard line, and a penalty flag comes in late.
Got to be bumping him out of bounds, Kobe. I know you had a better view of that. Is that what it was?
He was at least 2 or 3 yards out of bounds. Just one of those plays that you hate to see as a coach. That was a great job of getting out of some tackles by number 26, and also Canyon View's got to wrap somebody up if they want to bring him down.
Andrew Hansen with the catch, and Kerry, I think it's going to be about 30 yards on the pickup play, just on a little screen pass.
Play started at the 13-yard line. Hansen bumped out of bounds at the 43-yard line, and they'll tack 15 more on top of it as Canyon View, with their 2nd penalty of the football game, retreating into their own territory following the throwing of the flag.
That's a tough play for a defensive guy, however, because the guy's stumbling, staggering, gets out of bounds, and you're going as hard as you can. It's kind of hard to lay off on something like that right at the end.
Talking things over with the offensive captain, Jeff Oliverson. Hansen was run out of bounds, it looks like, at about the 43-yard line, so the walk-off will take place from that point, as that will move the ball 15 yards forward and into Canyon View territory as Cedar penetrates Canyon View territory for the 4th time in this football game. They'll move the ball just inside the 45-yard line at the 44 on the 15-yard penalty. That will also be another first down for the Redmen, their 8th first down here in the first half of play.
So, Kerry, an interesting note. I've always asked Tim, why do they ask the captains if they want to take that? I guess you never know.
I don't know. Why do they ask
I don't know. I don't know an offensive player that would say, oh, well, we don't want the extra 15.
Triple wide receivers out to the right this time for Oliverson. 5-step drop, steps up into the pocket, now finds some open running room out to the right side. He'll get the corner turned as he turns on the afterburners, takes on the defensive secondary, lowers his head, picks up a couple of additional yards before he is knocked out of bounds by Carpenter over on the near sideline. So a fine run that time by Oliverson will move the chains forward once again as he takes it down to the 26-yard line, an 18-yard gain on the play.
That's 52 yards rushing for Jeff Hall here in the first half of play. Gets around the corner, a good block by Griffin. And right now, Kerry, I don't know if the defense is going to stop anybody. We've only seen the one punt.
Redmen have moved from their own 13-yard line on a pair of plays to get the ball into Canyon View territory at the 26-yard line, where they have first down and 10 on their 9th first down of the football game. Going to give it off on a little counter play off the left side to the fullback. And that's Mike Gower rumbling his way down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. So Gower with an 8-yard pickup on the first down carry. Actually, more than that. He'll have a 12-yard gain on the first down carry and move the chains forward once again, first and 10 of the 14-yard line.
Carry, and that is 103 yards rushing for Mike Gower here in the first half.
And we still have 8:27 left to go in the half. Redmen with a 20-8 lead, threatening to move out even farther as they are knocking on the door at the 14-yard line. Down to the Canyon View end of the field, off to Gower on the left side once again. He'll cut back into the middle and pick up about 4 yards as he gets the ball down near the 10-yard line on the carry. It'll bring up second down and 6.
A different offense this year, Kerry, for the Redmen. When is the last time you've seen them run wishbone.
Well,
that was the first time.
I hadn't seen them run wishbone until that play. And that used to be the bread and butter.
That used to be the bread and butter. They'll go out of it again. Bert Blackner and Jesse Griffin are the tailbacks.
On 2nd and 6 from the 10-yard line in Canyon View territory. Fake the dive on the left side, option left. Oliverson going to keep it himself. Gets a great stiff arm. Gets around the corner and skips on into the end zone for the touchdown as he has recorded his second six-pointer here in the second quarter on a 10-yard run for the senior quarterback, number 19, Oliverson, with the 10-yard gallop and 7:35 left to go here in the second period of play. The Redmen stretch it out to an 18-point lead.
Well, after what we saw, the punt return called back, the Redmen starting their own end. Thought maybe they wouldn't score on that, but it only takes a few plays and they go, what was it, about 85 yards and another touchdown.
Actually 87. They started at the 13-yard line, so a good job of the offense moving the ball forward with some big plays in that one. And Andrew Hansen will try and tack on the extra point. He is 2 out of 2 in PATs on the night. The Redmen failed on a 2-point conversion attempt following their third score, but Hansen will attempt his third here on this attempt. Snap is down, the kick is up, it is good. Hansen remains perfect at 3 out of 3 in PATs, and the Redmen add one more point to their lead as they go on top by 19. 27-8 is our score. 7:35 remaining, second period of play. We'll be back with the Redmen kickoff in 60 seconds. You're listening to high school football on Talk Radio 590 KSUB.
Maybe you know someone who takes unbelievable care of their car or truck. You know, wash and wax twice a week. Worried if the temperature in the
kick attempt, they got on top of the football and a penalty flag flies in late. So we'll have to see just exactly what the sorting out is out on the field as they have.
You ready for what it is, Kerry? I'm making a guess.
Okay.
Because Andrew Hansen kicked the ball. Everybody dodged off. He just follows the ball down. He recovers it at the 10. They're going to say he touched it early. Falcons will get it 1st and 10 at midfield.
So an illegal touching, and that is exactly what the penalty call is. So Canyon View will take it over at the 49-yard line. Falcons scored on their first possession of the football game and then had to punt on their second possession. This is the third possession, but they find themselves in a big hole right now, 27-8 with 7:36 left to go in the second period. You can throw a pass all on the same play, but
right.
I don't think that's legal, so they're going to take the other one off the field, and the Falcons will start 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Again, out of the I formation, Barnes 3-step drop looking out to his right. Everybody gets tangled up over there as Carpenter over there again. Number 12, Skylar Miller. Both of them end up on the ground, and the penalty flag flies in. So we'll have to see. I think it's probably going to be a pass interference call, which will be a 15-yard mark off.
And Colby, you had a good view on that right in front of you.
That time, Skylar Miller just didn't know the ball was coming and got in the way of their intended receiver and got the pass interference call against him.
You know, one thing the Redmen are doing defensively is they're crowding the line of scrimmage. All 11 guys within 5 yards of the ball in what they call the box area. Skylar got caught up just a little bit. Another pass
against the Redmen. That will give Canyon View the first down. That'll be their 5th first down here in the first half of play. Move the ball a little deeper into Cedar territory at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 with 7.5 left to go in the opening period. 27-8 our score. Redmen on top by 19. Play action. They're going to go out into the left flat, get it to the tight end. Jesse Tate with the catch. He'll have it inside the 25-yard line, down to the 24. Looks like a gain of 10 on the reception. It should be another Canyon View first down.
It's very close. Just run the tight end out of the flat. James Platt there with the tackle.
To go here in the opening period. A lot of offense, not much defense. As both offenses have prevailed here in the first half of play. Mainly the Redmen as they lead at 27-8. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line in Redmen real estate. Barnes, the one-step drop, going to throw it in the air. Throwing it up for James.
Great play.
Reception as he comes back for the ball that was slightly underthrown. Takes it down inside the 5-yard line and is brought down at the 2-yard line. So a 22-yard pass play from Barnes to James sets up the Falcons with a 1st and goal at the 2.
Just what the Canyon View team needed, Kerry. Some offense, get down the field, get a score. 1st and goal from the 2. Great job.
Formation. Wide receiver out to the right, going to give it off on the dive on the right side as he gets the ball over to Bryce Jones, and Jones will be brought down after a short gain. He'll move it down to the 1-yard line and bring up 2nd down and goal.
Looked like a slip down there, but he does inch closer to the goal line, 2nd down.
play coming in from the sidelines from head coach Dan Lewis for second down and goal, as he'll send it in the person of Andrew Carpenter, who will come wide to the left. James will line up as the tight end on the right side. It'll be Jesse Tay, the tight end on the left, as they go with double tights out of the I formation on second down and goal. Barnes going to keep it himself off the left side, and he's going to be held short of the goal line. So the goal line defense for the Redmen doing a great job. Oh, they're going to... Guy on the far side, on the near side, called it a touchdown. No one else had gone into the air with it, and now the officials getting together. They are going to put the 6-pointer on the board, as Barnes apparently is going to be recorded with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have struck again as they draw within 13.
That's what you needed to do. Good little option play by Steve. Steps inside. I think Atwood signaled touchdown. The guy in the stripe says, hey, okay, and I'll give it to you. And the Falcons get their second point. It's 27-14 going for 2.
Maybe Atwood ought to become a politician or a car salesman.
There you go.
He's that influential with the guys in the stripes. The Falcons going to go for the 2-point conversion. Trailing 27-14. Barnes one-step drop, throws it up into the air. A diving attempt at a catch for Nate James over there as the ball was curled way to the inside. He can't come up with it, so the Falcons are denied on the 2-point. They trail by 13, 27-14 with 6:06 left to go here in the second period. We'll be there thinking maybe onside kick?
Or just a little squib. They get it.
It's going to be a low-line drive-style kick taken by Platt at the 20-yard line. He'll move out to his right, trying to find a block. Does get one block. Gets the corner turned and then gets collared from behind and run out of bounds. A penalty flag flies in. Or is that just they got him on a face mask.
I believe so. He's going to be bumped out of bounds about the 34-yard line. Penalty face mask going to come up, aid the Redmen here. And one thing you and I were talking about, Gary, 6 minutes to go. I think the Falcons, you want to have points. You don't want to say, oh,
their own 49-yard line.
And 5:59 to play. Wishbone one more time.
Redmond scored on all 4 possessions in the first half of play.
Can you say Andy Nelson back at running back as Gower takes the ball, runs right, just keeps his legs going, Kerry. We've seen it time and time and again. Just muscles his way for 3.
And it was a thing of beauty. It choked me up. That's why I was over here coughing. 5.5 left to go in the second period.
110 yards rushing for Gower. It's easy to say, hey, there's the fullbacks, a big part this year.
Ball in Canyon View territory at the 48-yard line following the 3-yard gain on first down by Gower. Again out of the bone. 3-step drop. Oliverson going out into the left flat.
That's Cole Nelson, number 83.
He's got the catch and takes it down to the 41, maybe the 40-yard line, a little deeper into Canyon View territory. He's going to have another Redmen first down, which is going to be their 10th first down here in the first half of play. As they'll spot him just outside the 40-yard line, it'll be good for a gain of 7 on the pass play.
And Kobe, you're over there by where I'm hearing whistles. What did you see?
Well, Coach Peak, because last week Canyon View was hurt by the runners, or by the receivers after catching the ball, getting big yardage, and that's what he's trying to do tonight, get those guys open and let them get wide open field and make some moves.
Redmen on the move again, 1st and 10 to the 40-yard line. They'll put it on the ground as they give it off to Gower off the left side. Gower rambles his way into the secondary. I'll tell you what, he's just a big, strong, powerful running back out of that fullback spot. And he responds very well as he'll pick up 7 yards on the first down carry. Not getting the big chunks he got early in the football game, but he's still getting big enough chunks to give the Redmen a lot of options on the second down call.
Well, I'll quickly add it up, Kerry. You've got about 9 carries, 117 yards, something like that. So he's got some pretty good average. Cameron Romney, number 80, was the one who really brought him down, the tight end for the Redmen.
Second down and 3, the ball inside the 35-yard line in Falcon territory at the 34. Clock down to 4 minutes left to go. Redmen 27, Falcons 14 here in the first half of play. Long count by Oliverson. He's going to take the 5-step drop, looks out to the right side. Got a wide open receiver. Skyler Miller catches the ball over the left shoulder and has it down inside the 10-yard line to the 8. First catch on the night for Miller. Will set the Redmen up with first down and goal at the 8-yard line.
So 26 yards on the pass reception. Right on the money. Once again, inside receiver. Jeff, good touch, finds him in the seam, and a 1st and goal.
We talked about it on the pregame show. The secondary for this Canyon View team susceptible to giving up the pass play, and they have done here in the first half of play as Oliverson with pinpoint accuracy has found several different receivers and putting the points on the board. Going to give it off to Gower on the left side. Gower keeps the legs churning as he'll take it down inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. So he'll have 4 yards on the carry. It'll bring up second down and goal from that point for the Cedar City football team.
Kobe, what seems to be the the line, have you been watching the line, how they're making those big holes for Mike to get through?
They're just absolutely blowing Canyon View off the ball. The defensive front of Canyon View needs to get a push, and they're not doing it. Good job of blocking by the interior line of Cedar High School.
And I got to ask you, Cole, while we got you, a little nicer tonight than it was last year on the sideline?
Yeah, last year it was raining. It's a beautiful night. We could do this every night if it was like this.
Been knocking on the door once again with 3:25 left to go here in the opening half of play. Oliver, under some heavy pressure, is going to be brought down for a sack all the way back out at the 15-yard line. So there will be a loss of 11 on the play. The blitz coming from the right side for the Canyon View team, and they'll bring Oliverson down for the second quarterback sack of the football game. Again, an 11-yard loss.
That time the Redmen sent 3 receivers kind of in a triangle pattern off to the left side, and a beautiful play called by the defensive coaches of the Falcons. Blitz, slow developing play, 11-yard loss.
So it will be third down and goal. The ball spotted just about a football length outside the 15-yard line of the Canyon View end of the field as the Redmen come up to the line of scrimmage with 2:43 left to go here in the second period. 27-14 is our score. Redmen lead it by 13. They'll send the wing on the right in motion, throw the pass across the middle. The reception is made.
That's Camden Romney.
I'll tell you what, that was a pinpoint accuracy by Oliverson as he threaded it between 2 defenders, and a great catch on a hard thrown ball by Romney, and he'll have it down inside the 5-yard line down to the 2-yard line where it will be 4th and goal. So a gain of 13 on the play, on the pass play to Romney. And the Redmen in business, 4th down and goal. The ball spotted at about the 2-yard line, and I believe they're going to...
Nashville, Denver, Huntingville, Utah, Salt Lake.
I think they got a penalty.
Movement along the line will cost them 1 yard. It was 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. It'll be an offside call against Canyon View, so we'll put down the 1-yard penalty, and it'll be 4th and goal from the 1.
I guess the one good thing, though, is it moves it just that much closer, trying to answer on every time they've had the basketball. The football, trying to get into the end zone. They've done it 4 times, so trying 4-5.
You're confused by them knocking on the door, 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. Leading 27-14, they'll send a man in motion, give it off on the left side.
Mike Gower gets the ball going left. I don't think he got in as he got held up at the line of scrimmage, and the Falcons have held, and they'll take over at the 1.
Tough exchange that time between quarterback Oliverson and Gower, the fullback, which broke that play down just a little bit, gave the defense a little time to respond, as you say. They held him out, but at about the half-yard line. So Canyon View, with 2 minutes left to go, has got to guard against a possible safety back deep in their own territory.
Kobe, is that what you saw also?
Yeah, the handoff was a little bit, it wasn't crisp, and then the Canyon View defensive line just gave them a big push, but they've got nothing to hang their heads about.
Going to keep it on the ground to Jones, and he'll ramble his way out near the 5-yard line. So good offensive line blocking down deep in the Canyon View end by the Falcons as they'll move the ball out to the 5-yard line. A 4-yard game. Minute and a half to play. Redmen leading 27-14. Falcons trying to get some working room down at their end of the field. 2nd and 6 from the 5-yard line. Play action pass. Barnes throws it. Looking for James coming in from the wide receiver left position. They also had Tate in the vicinity, but the ball brought back style of a passer. And throwing over that line is a difficult thing when you are listed at 5'9" and are really probably about 5'6". On the option, they pitch the ball back into the end zone. It's going to be a safety.
Yeah. So the defense for the Redmen have scored that pitch, and it looked like, Kobe can tell us better, it looked like that Barnes got hit just as he pitches it into the end zone, and the Canyon View running back did just what you need to do. Get on it. Don't allow the touchdown.
So the Redmen, who were denied on the touchdown just a moment ago, do record the safety on an errant pitch. That's the second time the Falcons have been guilty of an errant pitch on the option play. The first time they called it an incomplete forward pass. This time it was nothing more than a pitch, and it got into the end zone where Bryce Jones got on top of it for the safety as he is trapped back there after corralling the football. And the Redmen, with that 2-point safety, will move out on top 29-14, and also will get the football back on a free kick.
They'll kick it, I think, at the, is it the 20 or the 30?
From the 20-yard line.
20-yard line. Hey, Kobe, did you see anything on that defensive side, why that pitch was so poor?
He just got hit, and I think he just got nervous. It's a big game, and he just pitched the ball, and it wasn't a popular decision over here on the sidelines, is it?
Well, and he's up at about the 40-yard line on the Cedar side because the place-kicking game for the Canyon View team has not been one of their stronger points there. And the football season thus far, as they have to kick this one away from the 20-yard line, and they have elected to kick it from the ground from a kicking tee as Bryce Jones gets set to kick the ball away with 1:09 left to go in the second period. Jones approaches the football. The line drive style kick did get away a good one this time. Bonner will finally corral it back at the 25-yard line, move out to his right, trying to find a block. A reverse field, and that's when he becomes the most dangerous. However, the Falcons have corralled him back at the 20-yard line. So a -5 on the return. The Redmen, with under a minute to play here in the first half of play, will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Quarter to safety 3 plays later to take the 29-14 victory. Canyon View scoring once in the first quarter, once in the second quarter. Gower off the right side gets a great block as he fires into the secondary, but finally dragged down after he picks up about 16 yards out across the 35-yard line. They'll actually spot him down at the 37, so give him 17 yards on the carry. And that will wind the clock down to 43.9 seconds to stop it as they move the chains forward for the first down. They've got the ball spotted out there, and the official will set the clock in motion.
Kerry, I'm still waiting for a pass. Jesse Griffin, the inside guy, Canyon View, is not adjusted to it.
3 wide receivers right, single setback is Gower, 5-step drop, going deep. Throwing it up.
Andrew comes up.
Made by Andrew Hansen, as the defense didn't even realize the ball was on its way, and Hansen with the catch all the way down at the 25-yard line. The 39-yard reception and a first down for the Redmen as the offense in high gear for the Cedar High School team, down to 29.2 seconds. Trying to score yet another touchdown here in the first half of play and stretch that lead out just a little bit farther. Oliverson going to spike the football after the official had started the clock after the chains got set, so he can get his team back in a huddle and get the offense set for the final 24.3 seconds. Redmen out of timeouts on their side, as they have used all of their allotted 3 in the first half of play, and wanting to put more points on the board.
They would love to, and a good pass down the sideline. And Andrew, you got to give him credit. He's a lot like what Nate is for the Falcons, Kerry. He'll go get the ball. That time he just out-wrestles a man going. Big play, and it puts the Redmen in possession deep in Canyon View end.
Following the spike on first down, it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Trips out to the left this time. Oliverson going to his receiver on the right side again, however.
Pass interference.
And Hansen is the intended receiver. He gets wrapped up back there with Steve Barnes, and Barnes going to be called for the pass interference call from his safety position. So the first pass interference call of the game against the secondary for Canyon View. Will move the ball in a little bit closer as they'll take half the distance to the goal and move that ball down about the 13-yard line once again, and still just under 20 seconds to play here in the first half.
And important with the Redmen out of timeouts, they've got to go to the end zone. They get stopped short. I don't know if they'll be able to get another play off.
Unofficially here in the first half of play, and again, triple wide receivers out to the left. Oliverson, the 5-step drop, goes to one of the inside receivers over there, overthrows the intended receiver down near the goal line. That will stop the clock with 16.1 seconds left here in the opening half, and bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 12.
Kerry, and that's Jeff's first miss on the second quarter of play. 5 out of 6 up to that play.
12-yard line in Canyon View territory where they face 2nd down and 10.
I like the matchup right here. Andrew Hansen on Barnes, much like Nate James.
Triple wide receivers to the right. 5-step drop once again for Oliverson. Oliverson is hit as he releases the football. They're going to call that a fumble, I believe, and Canyon View has come up with it as Nate James comes up with the loose football and will return it up to the 40-yard line as the clock winds down to 7 seconds. I'm like you, it almost looked like his arm was going forward, but the officials have called that one a fumble as Oliverson was hit just as he was releasing the football. The officials have called it a fumble. The Redmen give it up on their first turnover of the game. And now the Falcons with one last opportunity. With 7 seconds left to go in the first half, they'll take a timeout, trailing 29-14. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to high school football on Talk Radio.
Up right here, Cole Nelson and Nate James.
7 seconds remain in the first half. Barnes going to take the ball, roll out. He's going to be sacked back at the 32-yard line, and that's going to be the final play of the first half, where we have seen a lot of offense, most of it coming from the Redmen as they trot to the locker room with a 15-point advantage. 29-14 our halftime score. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with the halftime show from Cedar High School. The Redmen lead at 29-14 over the Falcons. You're listening to Canyon View versus Cedar High School football on Talk Radio 590 KSUB.